I know this from many conversations we've had in the past. You really want to open up floristry, don't you, to more people? It's quite a closed industry. So talk to me a bit
Yeah.
about that, about the
I
industry.
mean, definitely the industry. So when I first started in floristry, no one talked to anyone. So crikey, this was back at university. So I worked part time as a florist through my degree, and it was massively closed. I mean, that was the early 2000s. And then when we started the business here, oh yeah, I mean, local florists. I would go to the wholesaler and see local florists, and they wouldn't even talk to me. So you were just competition, which is really sad. And I think that's thankfully that's a lot better now due to social media because we're all watching each other. You know, we're all seeing what each other's doing. So, and I think, yeah, I think floristry. I think it's that realization for me is that there's enough space for everyone, and that
Mm.
probably took I don't know 5 or 6 years to understand that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and everyone is not going to be my cup of tea. So that's all right. You know, it doesn't make me a better or worse person. Because I remember when we used to I'd send quotes out, and then it would just be silence, and then you feel like an absolute failure because they didn't like you or didn't book you. But you go, well, it's life. I'm
Mm.
obviously not their cup of tea. That's all right. So I'm waffling. What were we
Well,
talking
no, but
about?
also, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you'll probably spit your tea out at this, but you're an artist, aren't you? That's the thing, and your art isn't going to be everyone's taste.
No,
You know, floristry
no.
is very subjective, same as what I do is very subjective, and also your price isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea. You've worked very, very hard to reach a point in the market where you can charge for a quality product, and you're always going to probably be competing with people that are undercutting you, or you're going to be competing with me going to Tesco and buying £4 bouquets of flowers for my wife and then telling you about it afterwards. I don't do that, by the way, very often.
I chose not to look at the flowers on your windowsill on Saturday evening. They were, yeah. We'll say no more.
But it's the hardest part I think about having self-belief when you do your own thing and when you are a team of one, which ostensibly you and I, both are, is having that continuing that self-belief every time you get knocked back. And I think one of the
Oh,
hardest parts of being a self-employed is people kind of professionally ghosting you, like sending out quotes and not getting a no, just getting silence, following it up,
mm,
just
mm,
silence. I don't get ghosting. It's so pervasive in the world of freelance life. I've spoken to so many people about it over the last year who've just been so frustrated by putting together really good pitches or tenders and going out to market and hearing nothing.
yeah,
And I don't really get that. Like it takes so little to just say thank you, but it's not the right time or not right budget,
yeah,
or we've just decided to go in a different direction. When you go, okay, great, I'll just close that one off on my list then.
yeah.
Uh,
It is just. I think, in a sense, though, it is the reality of running a small business. It's going to happen, and I
mm,
think, in that sense, there's part of me that weirdly, you know, I think it was last Monday, I had a day and I had an admin list of, you know, great lengths, started working through it, and thinking, okay, I'll probably hear back from maybe two, three people at the end of the day, hopefully. Silence, 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 nothing for about 3 or 4 days, just and felt like poo. Like, come on, you know, at least just send me an email that says thanks for your thoughts, whatever. But I think when days like that happen, I have to go walk the dog, or I have to go make a cake, or I have to, you know, do a bit of gardening, or go to the gym, or something. Because you just have to change your space, change your thoughts, whatever. Go and talk to someone, have a coffee with a friend, or whatever. Because you know that is a reality of working by yourself. Because these are battles that you have to deal with by yourself.